Good morning and welcome to What Women and Men Need to Know. You know, a lot of people think that blood is just red. That's all they happen to know about it. And if you cut, you bleed. And, that's the extent of their knowledge. And if that happens to be you, I certainly hope that you will just stop what you're doing and listen for the next hour, because we're going from start to finish to let you know how very important blood and blood products are, and how that blood from the donation to where it goes once it's donated, how that really happens and where it goes and how that works in our community. And Blood Assurance is an expert at that. So they're going to just take you on that ride all the way through. So joining me today, standing beside me, I can never say if that's left or right on TV, so I don't want to get it wrong. So standing beside me is Caitlin Mantooth from the marketing department, and standing beside her, how about that for directions, is Mindy Quinn, and she's the marketing manager. And they're going to be sharing so much information with you. I do hope that you will just mark out the rest of the hour and don't stop after they're finished, because we have another group. We can't even get the whole group on the set at one time. We have another group sitting over to Mindy's right, and they're going to be taking their place when they get finished to tell you what they want to share about blood assurance as well. But it's very important to become involved. I was sharing with one of the girls a few minutes ago, I've been cleaning out drawers, and I found my very first blood assurance card. It was just one of those little flimsy cardboard cards. I moved to Walker County in 1975. And, well, you probably don't remember what the cards looked like then, but they were just little paper cards, not the plastic credit card-like cards that we have today. And I've been a donor ever since that time.
Wonderful.
And so I know that we have wonderful donors, and we have many other people who are prospective donors that just haven't had that opportunity yet. And there are a lot of things that go into making that work in not only our area, but in how many states? 5 or 6 states?
Yes, we're in 5 states now.
So it's a tremendous undertaking, but it's so necessary every day. While we live in our own little world, someone else is having their humongous experience, their tragedy that has just occurred, and at that time, that's when blood assurance is really shining. Mm-hmm. So that said, I'm not going to take any more time because we have so many wonderful things to say. If you'll go ahead, we wanted to kind of start at the beginning of what happens when you start at the beginning with blood assurance, and what do we need to know?
Well, we are in 5 states. We serve 76 hospitals across our territories with blood and blood products, and we need 540 blood donors every day to come in to serve those communities. And, we talk about donating today, but if there was a tragedy today, we needed the blood that was donated yesterday. And it's so critical for people to remember that when a tragedy does strike, yes, we still need your blood and we appreciate it. But the blood that's already in-house is what is going to be used during that tragedy, because blood has to be tested and processed and safe before we can send it out to our hospital partners.
Right.
So today what we thought we would start with, Caitlin is going to blood type me so everyone can see. We do not blood type automatically. This is not the first step. But when you donate blood, after you've given, you can call us back and we can let you know what your blood type is. We are, and we do offer blood typing events throughout the year. We're working on some community-wide events over the summer. But this way you can see what it's like to get your blood typed.
And know what kind of blood you have.
What kind of blood you have, exactly. And then you can find out what blood types will match yours if you need blood, and who you can help with your blood type. Because, we always talk about O negative being the universal donor. Right. But O positive is becoming highly used now for trauma situations as well. And as technology changes and, things change, blood still can't be manufactured, but they do discover new ways to utilize blood. And so we want to keep everybody as up to date as possible.
And I think it's just good to know what type blood you have. A lot of people live and die and never know.
That's it, exactly.
That is true.
So we're going to let Caitlin get started, and she can tell you what she's doing.
All right, so first what we're going to do is we are going to do our little finger stick to get the blood out, obviously.
I have to clean my finger first.
And that's something that...
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Hold on just a second. I left it in the bag.
Hurry up.
Let me go get it.
And this finger stick is nothing more than what you would get if you...
It's what you get at the doctor's office when they're going to check your hemoglobin. Yep.
Prick your finger on the side because you have fewer nerve endings on the side of your finger than you do on the tip of your finger.
Exactly.
Yes,
whichever finger you prefer.
Let's see. We'll do
And
it
that's
this way.
something they finally realized after we had sore fingers for a long time.
Well, I'm not going to guarantee that it won't be sore for at least a minute, but I'll do my best. So we do our little stick here and put it in there. And we take this, so we've got these wells here, and they're marked A, B, and an RH. So whether you may or may not know, but that stands for the blood groupings. So we've got A, B, AB, and O. All right, so we've got our little drops of blood here. We're going to clean this off. And we're going to put our Band-Aid on. So, get that.
And I didn't feel a thing.
And her blood is red.
It is, so we are going red. It is red, yes. So that'll not be sore for too long, if it's sore at all. I don't
Not
know.
at all.
Not at all. All right, excellent then.
Okay, can you hold
Perfect.
that up now and let the cameras see what you have done?
I don't know. Can you see it?
Yeah, let him, he's
There
going
you
to
go.
zoom right up there. See,
All right,
now,
so we've got our
now
3 drops of blood here. So you can kind of see what they look like now. We're going to be adding some chemicals in here to try and get the blood to react or not react, depending on what type we have. So we're going to put those all in. 1 drop per well of different chemicals. All right, now we're going to do our A.
It looks like Windex.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Not.
And we've had, while Caitlin's putting that in, we've had parents ask if their children can get typed, and the answer is yes. If we are holding a blood typing event, a parent needs to be there, and if they sign off on the permission form, we can blood type children as well.
So now we're just going to mix everything up and see what happens with it.
Do you want to? Can you tilt that a little bit while you're mixing?
Can
so
I
it
hold
be on
it
the
for
camera?
you, or your
here, I can
will
get it.
spill?
So now we're seeing some reaction. In this one, we've got clumping, which is what we're looking for. You can kind of see it here in the A. So Mindy is definitely type A something. We just got to see what it's going to be. Or she could be AB. So now we're going to do B and see what happens. So
And what does the clumping mean?
it's just a reaction with the chemical. So if it doesn't react, that means that that one is not present. If it does react, that means it is present. So like with this B, there's no reaction. It's just like water. And see with this A, I don't know if you can kind of see it.
got
It
thicker.
clumps up. Yeah, little dots. And so now we know it's A, and it's either going to be positive or negative. So we're going to see how this one reacts. We're going to stir it up. And this one takes just a little longer than the other one, so I'm just going to move it around till we see some action. So we just do this back and forth, and it'll see here. I'm seeing a little clumping going on. So stir it up just a little bit to make sure. It's not as obvious as like the A is. You can see the A is very clumpy, whereas the RH is more subtle. It's kind of harder to see on the camera, but it is clumping. So we are going to say that Mindy here is A positive.
And I am.
A positive person.
I am. It's okay
more ways
to
than
be
one, right?
negative too.
Yes, we like that too.
Now, what did you say? Oh.
It's okay to be negative
In this industry.
in this.
We're all right with that.
So, if you're A positive, then let me see. I have my handy little cheat sheet here.
Oh, great.
35.8% of the population is
A positive.
A
Yep,
positive.
we're a very common blood type.
Yes.
okay, and B positive is 1.5%, right? No, 8.5%.
Mhm.
So,
Yep. So yeah, I'm one of the more popular blood types that's out there. It doesn't mean though that we're not needed.
That's
A positive, even though it's still most popular, is always needed as well.
all blood,
So,
all
mhm.
blood types.
All blood types are
Right.
needed,
That's
right?
Um,
And what's really, really important to know is that typically only 5% of the population that is eligible to donate actually does give blood. So out of everybody that's walking around and healthy and able to donate blood, only 5% actually do it.
wow.
And there are so many people that rely on blood every day, not just from car accidents or other trauma situations, but adults and children who are dealing with cancer, who have clotting issues, who have a whole host of illnesses that require transfusions. And, you know, we tend to not think about the everyday needs. People tend to react in that trauma situation. And again, it's something that we are looking to instill in our donors, that sense of lifelong giving and making blood assurance part of your calendar, part of your plan.
Right.
If you're giving whole blood, every 56 days, come back in because we're going to need your blood again.
Yes, I think I mentioned to you, I had been just a whole blood donor, and a friend had leukemia and was receiving platelets. So
Right.
that's when I changed to platelets. And I realized that I learned a lot about apheresis at that time, and realized that a friend who we would often be scheduled at the same time and be, you know, near each other when we were donating, and he would always say, I don't understand. How do you finish before I do? Well, I don't know. I can't. So the girl who was there would always say, well, she has a higher platelet level than you do. Well, how did she get a higher? So everything we did, we learned through, you know,
Okay.
the questions. And she said, that's just the way God made her. You can't eat anything to make your platelet level. You know, you can't give faster no matter what you eat, no matter what you do, no matter how much exercise. Nothing you do is going to change that.
Right.
You have a certain, you know, platelet rate, and, you know, that's the way you are. So
Right, and platelets are so crucial for people who are going through chemotherapy and dealing with
Right.
cancer and leukemia and other illnesses. And what's really important to know is that when you're giving platelets, you know, you're on a special machine that's taking your blood but taking out the platelets and giving you back products that we're not taking. So while it takes longer to give platelets, you leave a lot. I haven't given platelets, but what a lot of people tell me is that they leave feeling more energized. They feel better because they're getting something back in their system.
So you find, you know, I said, well, maybe that's what I'm supposed to be doing instead of whole blood, since I do have a higher platelet rate, you know, is giving platelets. So.
And we're actually doing, it's called the Purple Top campaign, and right now we had sent out a mailing to a lot of our donors a few months ago saying, if you've not given platelets, ask us about it. Let us take your blood for a spin. Because we
that's
want,
cute.
because we want our whole blood donors to try to ask about giving platelets, to get their platelet count and see if they're eligible, because we do need more platelets.
And it was different. It was real different than giving whole blood, but there were no after effects or anything. You know, it was just different.
Right, and longer.
Yeah,
It's
and longer.
certainly something that you want to have a plan for.
Right. No,
because it does take
no
longer.
10 cups of coffee before, because you can't drag the machine.
That's right.
You know, you got to be still, in
Right.
other words. So,
Right.
so you plan for it, as you said. So.
Exactly. Yeah, when you're giving a whole blood donation, the process itself, as you know, is less than 10 minutes of giving blood. But when you're doing platelets, you can plan on sitting in that chair for, how long are you in the chair?
Well, it takes me about an hour and a half to do the platelets. But I also have a high platelet count, so it's something that I do because it's the way that I feel most useful to the
Right.
community, is to do the platelets.
And
So
Caitlin gives, a triple?
I'm a triple, yeah.
Wow.
So
You want to explain what that means?
yeah, so you can either be a single, a double, or a triple. Single meaning your platelet count is 100,000 to 200,000, double 200 to 300,000, and then triple being 300,000 and above. I've seen some in the 400,000 range, but we don't do quadruples. So we do single, double, and triple. And you know, the speed of which you donate, it depends on a lot of stuff. How much water you drink can help you, things like that. Just making sure you're prepared for the donation and not doing anything that'll slow you down.
But what does a triple actually mean?
Oh, sorry. So with the single, double, and triple, that means that whenever I donate, I can give 3 units of platelets to one patient versus someone who's a single, they can only give 1 unit. And some patients require certain matches. So if you're a match for that patient and you're able to give them a triple, it's really awesome because they don't have to get as many transfusions because they can just do the triple at one time. So.
Wow.
And we know that Caitlin is a match because when we're running low, the person that does the scheduling for the platelets will call me to say, I'm going to need Caitlin for a little bit because we need platelets, and she's the match. So
That's great. And it does make you feel good to know that you can do something that maybe other people can't. That other people can give whole blood, but maybe not everyone can or will do the platelets. So there's something for everyone.
there is.
Yes.
Oh, and I brought the T-shirt, by the way, for the month of February that all of our donors are receiving. It's the What's Your Type T-shirt, and the focus actually is on the Be the Match program, which is the National Bone Marrow Registry, because Blood Assurance does house the Be the Match program in the building, and we do have drives to find matches for marrow recipients, and we've had some success there as well. It's been very exciting to see when we find a match. So every donor that gives blood gets a T-shirt.
And so that's a free T-shirt too.
It is a free T-shirt, yes.
Yes,
And
it
you get
is.
snacks.
And that's right, and you always get good snacks, and it is a real friendly environment too, real friendly environment. So maybe that's something you could put on your list to do this year that you've never done before, something new.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
you know, we've got our mobile drives, but we also have our center right here in Fort O, and it's at 2720 Lafayette
just
Road, right near the
right down
shoe
from the
store.
intersection.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah, and everyone there is super friendly. You can go in without an appointment, but again, especially if you're going to consider platelets, call ahead. Make an appointment. It'll save you some time. You're able to text if you'd like to schedule an appointment. You text BAGIVE to 444999, and we can automatically schedule you.
Wow.
So
everything's easy.
Everything is
now.
easier now,
Everything's
yeah.
easier. Let's see, someone has a question. Did you have a question? Go ahead, 7646.
I know that you can't give blood if you're taking blood thinner. What about platelets?
Platelets? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I can double check that with our medical director. I'm not comfortable saying for sure, but I don't think you can give anything while you're taking blood thinners.
Okay. I was just checking.
Dr. Liz Culler is our medical director, and you are more than welcome to send her an email or to call the 800 number, 800-962-0628, and be connected to her or anyone else there that can find out for you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah, that's a good question, but I would.
I've not been asked that before regarding platelets and blood thinners, so I would definitely want to.
That affects
Silently,
a lot of
you
things,
know.
though, the blood thinner does.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
but they do, when you go in, they do ask you a whole list of questions about medications and
Right.
lots of things. So
Yes, there's a mini medical because when
Right.
you come in to give blood, we need to make sure that you're healthy
Right.
and able to give. So you're going to come into the center or onto our mobile, and you're going to meet with a donor care specialist, and they're going to take you into a private room, and they're going to ask you some basic questions, take your blood pressure, check your iron levels, and then there's a questionnaire that you fill out that will ask you more in-depth questions, obviously relating to travel because of Zika and all the other
Right.
issues that come and go. And so there is that screening process. And what's really great is every time you come in, we put in the system what your pressure was, what your iron levels were. So you can log into your donor portal and check all of your stats. But so you'll come in that process, you want to give yourself 15 to 20 minutes to plan, to be sitting and talking with someone, depending on whether or not there's a wait. And then if you are cleared to give, that's when you will then go over to the donor chair, have a seat, get comfortable, and we take your blood.
And then you feel good for days
Yeah.
in more than one way.
Yeah.
So like I said, if you haven't done that, then put that on your list. And you have some, you call them super tankers. Is that
We
talk
do,
about the
yes.
super
For
tanker?
okay, so if you're a platelet donor, if you give whole blood, you're eligible every 56 days. People who give platelets are eligible every 2 weeks, or up to 24 times a year.
That's 7 days.
Right. Oh, 7 days.
Yeah.
Sorry, or up to 24 times a year.
Yes.
So if you are a platelet donor and you give between 12 and 19 times a year, you are a tanker. 19 or more times a year, you are a super tanker. And that is just how we refer to you. And at the end of the year, we have a nice little holiday party and celebrate our tankers and super tankers, because donating 24 times a year is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I've now been to 2 sets of dinners. I've been with the organization just over a year. And I've met some 50 and 60 gallon donors this last year, and it's just amazing to me, the dedication that our tankers and super tankers have.
Right, and that is tremendous. I mean, that's just a tremendous gift.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. I mean, we had an individual, I think from the Rome area last year, who sent us a photo, and I think he had just reached 7 gallons, and he took empty milk cartons and filled them with water and red food coloring. And just seeing 7 gallons sitting on a table with him standing by it was wow. But when you think 50 gallons.
Yeah, that's yeah.
That's a lot of
can't
blood.
even.
That's dedication.
Yeah, 50
Yeah.
gallons is
Yep.
unreal.
So, but as much as we love our super tankers and our 50-gallon donors, we also have our younger donors. A majority of our donors come from high school and college age students, and we do rely heavily on those. So when school is out, we need a lot of extra help bringing in donors. And we have we have 2 programs for students. We have a Cord of Courage program for high school students. So if they want to earn an honor cord to wear at graduation, if we do blood drives at their school and they give a certain number of times throughout their junior and senior year, they can earn a honor cord or a double cord, similar to the tanker and super tanker. And then we have a scholarship program as well, the Crystal Green Memorial Scholarship, that was started many years ago. Crystal Green was a patient who dealt with blood assurance and unfortunately just had complications, and her family and blood assurance started this memorial scholarship in her honor. And so 12 students across our territories will win a $1,500 scholarship to help them with college. So if you're a senior in high school attending a school that has blood drives, our Project Lifeline blood drives, you can apply for the scholarship. And there's applications online. The deadline is March 31st. Application needs to be postmarked March 31st. And there's an application, we need letters of recommendation, and you have to write a marketing plan for how you would run a blood drive.
Good.
Yeah.
Good, and plenty of time, just
plenty
in
of
time right now.
Exactly.
to
And we
get
have a
that
committee
going.
that'll review all of them, and 12 students will be selected, and they'll be notified in early May whether or not they've gotten the scholarship, and we pay that money directly to the college that they're attending.
And $1,500 would buy
It's-
some books and
Yeah. The hope is that students who have a financial need are those who are applying. But it's a wonderful program, and we've seen some really amazing marketing ideas coming from these students that
I'll
we've
bet.
incorporated.
I'll bet.
So yeah, there's information right on our website. It's called the Crystal Green Memorial Scholarship.
So you parents or grandparents, write that
Grandparents,
down.
yeah.
And get your young people going on the scholarship. Do you have money that doesn't get used every year, or,
No.
or do you do?
We give them
Good.
all out.
Great,
Yes.
great.
Yes, we give them all out.
Good.
We are holding a golf tournament in Tullahoma that's helping to raise money for the scholarships. And we obviously have community support for those scholarships as well. So Yeah, but this is a program that's been going on for a long time.
That's wonderful, so wonderful. And you have a lot of other things going on in the community, special blood drives, a lot of other events. You just have things going on all around you all the time. So
We do. Well, we have 16 centers and we have 13 blood mobiles across 5 states. And so we are always busy, and we are always looking to have new businesses host a blood drive. We've been getting a lot of recent calls regarding honor drives, and that's something that the Mann family is here to talk about. But an honor drive is a drive where if you have a family member or a friend, a coworker, someone who needed a lot of blood for whatever reason, whether it was leukemia or a crisis, after the fact, a lot of times people will have an honor drive to help replenish those supplies, because as we know, we are the sole supplier for blood and blood products in this area. And so you want to make sure that their supplies are still there to give to other people who need it, or if your family member or loved one might need some more down the road. We also do a lot of memorial drives. We just had up in our Tri-Cities area a memorial drive. It was from a longtime donor. She was a 50-gallon, I think, donor, and she passed away. And so her family wanted to have a series of drives in her memory to continue her legacy. So we work with businesses, we work with families, we work with friends and community organizations for a whole lot of reasons to help bring in blood.
So it keeps you busy.
It keeps our recruitment department busy.
Right.
We're just marketing.
Right.
We've got a whole donor recruitment department, and the recruiters are out there scheduling, and they're the ones that are really, really making it happen.
Right, but it takes everyone working together.
It sure does.
To
It
get
sure
the
does.
blood on the shelves.
Oh, and our lab.
Yeah.
You know, we always offer, if you've not seen our main building in downtown Chattanooga, that's where the lab is. That's
Yeah.
where all of the blood gets processed. Give us a call. Caitlin gives tours all the time. We have schools that come through. We will give a tour and let you see firsthand what the process is like and why it's so intense, and why we always talk about needing that blood before a crisis occurs.
That's right, because, seconds can make all the difference in the world when you're dealing with a crisis.
Right.
That's so important. When we come back after the break, we have several members of the Mann family. That's Matthew Mann. If you remember a few weeks ago, he was involved in an accident on Highway 27, one of many accidents that have occurred in that same area. Hopefully we're going to get some action taken with some type of stoplight or something, I don't know, but anyway, he is improving, and that's good to hear. This is a memory drive, right?
This is an honor.
an honor.
This is
what
in
I say,
honor
memory,
of.
an honor drive. I'm sorry, because he is doing better.
He is doing better, yeah.
He was in a crisis for quite a while, but he's doing much better. And several members of his family are here to let you know exactly what they've been through.
Exactly.
And how blood assurance has been right there to.
Yeah. And the honor drive is today at the Catoosa County Fire Department from noon till 5. So they're going to talk about what they're dealing with from the family's perspective, but just to make sure, if someone is interested in giving blood in honor of Matthew Mann, that drive is happening today, starting at noon, and it goes till 5 or 5:30 tonight at the Catoosa County Fire Department.
It'd be a perfect day for you to roll up your sleeve and go down and
walk-ins are welcome, but
Yes.
again, if you want to schedule ahead of time, you can just text BA-GIVE to 444-999 or call our 800 number, 1-800-962-0628, and we can get you scheduled. This way, you're ensuring a better time slot.
So it works. If you don't have the opportunity to make an appointment, you can just go.
Absolutely, stop
And
on
if
in.
you only have a few minutes, try to schedule at that time that you do have a few minutes, and it only takes a few minutes. So
Exactly.
So it's a win-win for everybody, but it's happening today, and a perfect opportunity to remind everybody it could be a wonderful, wonderful drive, because it could be more than 5%. I mean, it could be the whole
Exactly.
5%.
Exactly.
So it depends on you. we can't give for you. We can only give ourselves. We're giving
Triples.
She's
You're
giving
giving
triple
triples.
already. So what are you doing? I just asked. So at that, I'm going to leave that thought with you. We're going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to hear from members of the Mann family and hear firsthand what's been happening with them. So come back after the break, and we will continue.
We're on the air 24/7, a North Georgia taste of heaven, a fun place to be. And we're your family, UCTV.
For over 4 decades, your neighborhood ShopRite supermarkets have been the standard for quality and service. Locally owned means you'll find a smile on every aisle.
Best meat at the best prices. Farm fresh produce.
Weekly specials on a variety of products.
Get the ShopRite seal of approval. You can't shop wrong at ShopRite.
Week at ShopRite, they have chicken breast for $1.19. That's split chicken breast. They have boneless pork loins for $2.19, and green cabbage, 39 cents a pound. A 3-pound bag of little sweet halos for $3.99. Food Club tuna for 69 cents a can, and a 7-ounce package of spaghetti pasta, 2 for $1, and Little Debbie snack cakes, 2 for $3. They give you those at Blood Assurance too. They have top round steaks for $3.29, and a 3-pound bag of sweet onions, $1.99, and bell peppers or cucumbers, only 59 cents each. These are just a few of the many values you'll find at your local ShopRite store, where they still take your groceries to the car. All right.
The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is right now. The same rules apply to financial success. Saving money is the first step towards financial independence. And at the Bank of Lafayette, we have an investment account for every situation. How much you save is not nearly as important as establishing a regular pattern of saving and placing of your money aside in a safe and secure place. Whimsical thinking and immediate gratification can rob you of a financially secure future and a safe and comfortable retirement. At the Bank of Lafayette, we can help you choose an investment account that will help you reach your immediate, short-term, and long-term goals. The one rule that always applies across every economic timeline and condition: the sooner you begin saving, the faster your money will grow. Bank with confidence at the Bank of Lafayette, your hometown bank for more than 110 years. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
At the Rosewood Assisted Living and Memory Care, we have everything your senior could want in a safe, comfortable residence. Several levels of services include short-term housing for weekends or longer, assisted living where the staff provides a watchful eye while preserving your loved one's privacy and dignity, or independent living where residents are able to take care of themselves yet have access to all amenities and a sense of security. And the Rosewood on Battlefield Parkway specializes in memory care for patients of Alzheimer's or dementia. Call today for a tour of our campus.
MetaThrift Pharmacy, located at 324 West Patton Street in Lafayette, across from the ShopRite. MetaThrift Pharmacy provides prescription drugs, including compounded prescriptions. They also have diabetic supplies, including custom diabetic shoes. They have lift chairs, potty chairs, shower seats, and other durable medical equipment. MetaThrift Pharmacy in Lafayette has a friendly, well-trained staff that will help you with your drugstore needs, whether you're on the phone or in the store. You may also leave your refill request on their automated phone system, available 24 hours a day. Make them your choice for your pharmacy needs. MetaThrift Pharmacy, 706-638-3114.
24/7, a North Georgia taste of heaven, a fun place to be. And we're your family, you'll see TV.
We're back now. Matthew Mann's family joins me along with Mindy on the end, and in between Mindy and me is Matthew Mann's family. So standing next to me is his cousin, Angel Mann Collier, and then is Haley Busby on the, what did I say? I said Haley Busby, right? Yeah. Okay. We have 3 H's up here. So Haley Busby standing next to Mindy, and she is his future stepdaughter. So next is Holly Mann, who is his niece, and she is standing next to Angel. So it's a test now. Who can call in and name all the names along with?
We'll give you a blood assurance T-shirt.
That's
if you
right.
Can get all
We'll
the
give
names
you a
correct.
blood assurance T-shirt if you can name all the names. But these are all members of his family, and it's so wonderful always to have family members during the good times and the bad times, to have people who are going to stand with you and beside you and be there for you. And I can see that you have been. And so do you want to start, Angel, and just kind of say, give us a little,
yes,
kind of a nutshell of, and I know that's a terrible way to sum this up, because certainly it has not been, but it's been a lot of long and grueling.
It's been quite the journey.
Prayerful
Yes,
days.
ma'am. It has, with a lot of prayer.
Yes.
So January 19th, he was involved in a really bad car wreck, and we got the call that he was in surgery in critical condition. So the whole family rushed to the ICU. The ICU waiting room was full of firefighters, first responders, and family members, and just all the community there. And we were all in prayer for Matthew at that time. What we found out later on is that over the course of that day, he had gotten over 50 units of blood, and which requires 50 donors. And he made it through the night, which we weren't sure he was going to do that. And he has since required 9 surgeries. He required 9 surgeries within a 12-day period. So we have a lot of people to be thankful to. He is now in rehab, and he is going through recovery, and we're just very grateful for that. We thank the inmate firefighters for them getting him out of the car. We thank the first responders, because without their knowledge and expertise, he wouldn't survive. And we thank the trauma nurses and surgeons at Erlanger. But we know if it had not been for the blood that he'd gotten, he wouldn't be with us today. So we want to thank the community and Blood Assurance and everybody for their donations, because we wouldn't have him with us without the 50 units of blood he'd received.
Right, and that's a lot.
That's a lot.
When you were talking about those 50 gallons of blood, I mean, that's a lot, but 50 units is a lot too.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. And Holly, you had talked to me about the fact that he had been a donor also himself.
Yes, Matthew, every time that he was available to donate, he would donate. It was on his calendar. Like every 56 days he would go and he would donate. It's like clockwork.
So he had a plan.
Yeah, he's a dedicated donor.
Yes. And I think he had O negative blood, and so he was given that blood, and he had some special blood for infants that infants could use.
Wow. So he realized the importance of giving blood, and made that time in his busy schedule to help those others. And no doubt he had seen in his work how important that was as well.
And we see that with a lot of first responders. In fact, it's something that just before Thanksgiving, in the Chattanooga area, we had a drive with the local fire and police department, and there are so many first responders that give blood, and it's amazing to think about. Maybe he got his own blood. Who knows if his own blood had been there on the shelf, or if Matthew was helping at another trauma situation, or any of the other first responders, they could be helping someone who is about to get that first responder's blood because they gave within the last couple of days, and their blood has been processed and out on the shelf. And so, there's so many reasons to be thankful for our first responders, for donors, but our first responders, because not only are they helping you in the crisis, but they are in those chairs giving blood all the time.
And thank goodness for them having that, seeing the need, the extreme need, and where we may be living our own little, sheltered lives, and we don't really see that until it becomes our problem. That's when we have such clarity, is when it becomes a problem for us.
And I think it's really important. You mentioned, I didn't realize that. So Matthew has that certain RH factor that newborns can receive. And I know in this area we've had a few babies recently that have been born who have needed a lot of blood transfusions. And so there's such a small population of people who have that specific type of blood that newborns can get. And so we do have a lot of donors who, as soon as they find out that they can give and that newborns can receive their blood, they do put it on their calendar.
And that is another reason to know your blood type, so you know where your blood, as Caitlin said, where your blood is best used, and where your blessing is best to be had. So, and Holly, you also talked a little bit about some other things that you're doing with Matthew. You have some other fundraisers that are going on for him, because no doubt he's been out of work also. That other little thing that we forget about. He's been out of work for quite a while. So do you want to mention those other fundraisers?
Yeah.
Or do you want me to mention them?
I think I remember most of them.
Okay.
I know we have a Pampered Chef fundraiser going on. We have an origami owl going on, and that's like jewelry and little charms and necklaces and stuff. And we have a GoFundMe account. And it's called Prayers for Chief Mann, or Matthew Mann. We have a fund at the Bank of Lafayette. It's called, it's Chief Matthew Mann. And I think that's it.
And don't forget the decals
and these
on the
decals.
shirt that you're wearing. If we could zoom in on the sweatshirt. Now, it's not that they're not selling the sweatshirt, but just the decal. You could put on a t-shirt, you could put on your pajamas, you could put it on whatever you wanted to.
The decals that we're selling, they can go on stickers, and they can go on cars and stuff. They can't go on t-shirts.
Okay. But just the sticker, not the shirt itself. So you can go to any of those you want to, make a donation, participate in any of the Pampered Chef or the Origami Owl, or make purchases of items, and I'm sure they're giving a percentage to that cause. So there are a lot of fundraisers that are going on out there.
And they've got a great Facebook page.
Yes, it's called Prayers for Matthew Mann. And my mother, she's the one who updates it. And every update that we get from a doctor, it goes on that page.
Oh, that's great. So everybody stays up to date
with this rehab schedule and everything that's on there.
That's great. Any word about how long? Of course, we're not in charge. So, but
they gave him, I think, a tentative discharge date. So we're working towards that. I don't know that.
I heard.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he's planning on going home. He really wants to be at home.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, we'll just keep that prayers for Matthew Mann at the forefront.
And he got engaged while he was in
I was
rehab.
about to say. Well, he was. intubated and sedated for 12 days. I think he got extubated on Tuesday, and Sunday he asked her mom to marry him.
Well, how exciting.
So we're excited.
Well, those things really help you to move forward,
not to take any moment for granted is what they're saying,
right.
not one second. So.
Absolutely. So, no doubt, I see a smile over here. So, Haley's has a beautiful smile, and she's smiling, so it must be a happy for Haley too. Yeah. So, well, all those endorphins make everything work better, and so we'll just consider that that's a happy day.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you have someone that you want to have a blood drive for, call you.
So if you want, if you'd like to have a blood drive in honor of someone, in memory of someone, or just because you have a business and you have employees there who would be interested in donating,
right.
We could bring our mobile out to your company. Call our 800 number, the 1-800-962-0628. And we have a tele-recruiting department, and they will get you in touch with the donor recruiter for your territory. Because we tend to book about 3 months out. So if you're looking to do something right away, it really depends on where our buses are scheduled. If you'd like to we do a lot of center-based drives. We have a new program that we launched this year for businesses, and it's called the BA Champion. So if a business wants to support raising awareness about the need for blood, we will co-brand our t-shirts, we will promote on social media that business for the month, and we're having the businesses push people to the centers to give blood. So we don't have to worry about a mobile, but you will have your company logo in all the centers on all our mobiles for the month that you become the champion. And we ask that you leverage your network, your contacts, to let them know that you support blood assurance and you'd like them to do the same. And it's about raising donors, not dollars, but donors to come in and give and keep those supplies full. So the BA Champion program, if you call the 800 number, just ask for the marketing department, and that's something that I would help you with. But if you're looking to schedule a drive, we need to get you in touch with the donor recruiter for your territory, because it's based on their schedule, and there are a lot of logistics that have to get worked out for that. So,
and 5 states.
And we are in Tennessee, Georgia, Virginia, Alabama, and North Carolina.
So.
And we weren't planning on our family member needing 50 units of blood, so you never know when your family member might need it as well.
And 50 units is a lot.
Over 50.
Yeah, that's a lot of blood.
It was a lot of blood.
So and it's wonderful because they're replenishing the supply.
Yes.
So,
which is better than paying for it, because you can't. Dollars aren't blood. Essentially useful.
Yeah.
So, it's great to replenish it. That's so much better.
Leave it better than the way you found it, and that's what we're trying to do. Leave the blood bank better than the way we found it. So,
how many actual units do you keep daily on the shelves? Depends on the day.
we get updates throughout the day of what we have and what's gone out, and stuff is always going out. We have a couple of depots in some of our outlying territories, so once the blood has been processed, we ship it to our depots so that they can service the hospitals closest to them. But I wouldn't know how many are kept on the shelf. It's always going. We are never sitting with blood, and blood has an expiration date as well. So people will often ask, how come you need it every 56 days if you've got this blood? It never just sits on the shelf, never. And wintertime, summertime, actually probably early January or maybe the end of December, we were showing photos of our freezer empty. We were almost entirely out of blood. We had less than half a day's supply.
Wow.
And now, especially, the flu and the stomach bug, there are all these things going around. Districts have been closing, so, we're reaching out to our donors and to new donors. We're saying, if you're healthy, please come in and give. And if you're a donor and you're unhealthy and you can't give right now, ask someone to give on your behalf, which is, again, why this is so amazing, because Matthew can't give and he used so much blood that the family is replenishing those supplies.
Yes.
So.
In Georgia, the CDC just this morning was announcing about the flu and so many other side, illnesses that
Right.
are just
The
rampant in
norovirus,
Georgia.
everything. And you can't give blood when you're taking antibiotics. You have to be off for at least 24 hours. We don't want you coming in if you've had a fever or if you have a cold. We want you to be healthy. We want the blood to be healthy. So, again, if you can't give, ask a friend to go give for you.
Yeah, who is healthy.
Who is healthy, exactly.
So remember that. And you could do that today.
Absolutely.
It's not too late.
It
It's
is not
too late. You have a half a day yet.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the centers close at
6 p.m.
6, so you don't even have to wait until 5. You can wait until 6.
Exactly.
6 hours you have yet today. Another whole day. Another whole day. So have you? I'm just curious. Have you girls donated? Have you?
I donated the day after the accident.
Wow. Was that your first donation? No, it wasn't. Oh, so you've already.
I've been donating.
Great.
And I'm not old enough to donate yet, so.
You could get a waiver, maybe.
And that's important to note. You have to be 18 years old or 16 and 17 with a parental consent, and you have to weigh 110 pounds in order to donate blood.
Most of us don't have to worry about that.
There are people out there that do.
I do remember when I did have to worry about that, but not anymore. So when you go into the schools, that can allow you to get more donors with the parental
Exactly.
signature.
Oh, yeah, the parental consent. It used to be for 17-year-olds. Now, with Zika and all of the FDA changes, 16 and 17-year-olds need a parental consent. I'm sorry, it used to only be 16. Now 16 and 17-year-olds need a parental consent, and that's because the testing is research-based.
Right.
So the parents just have to give permission that they understand that the Zika test is for research. It has nothing to do with the blood supply itself. But yeah, so it's a process, and the donor recruiter works with the coordinator at the high school and make sure that the students get that consent form signed ahead of time, so that when we show up, we can just come in and do our job.
So that's something you can look forward to.
And
as
if we're
being
not
a
at your
donor.
high school and you want us at your high school, just call us and let us know.
Because there are lots of schools and lots of potential donors there too.
Exactly.
And it's like with other things, if we don't start growing these donors, these people who have a servant's heart, we're going to lose so many young people if they don't have good examples.
We have a Half Pints program where we will do a blood drive at an elementary school so that the students can learn about blood and then recruit their parent or guardian to give blood, and the student will get the shirt, not the parent. And so that's our way of starting to instill that lifelong donor. And Nikki Edwards is actually the donor recruiter in this territory, and she's awesome. And so anyone would love working with her. So if you have an elementary age school child, our medical director, Dr. Liz Culler, will come out and do presentations for the kids. We've created some really fun activities that we can do with them as well. And then the parents can come in and donate, and the kiddos get really cute. We're redesigning it right now, but super cute shirt. The new one coming out says Half Pint Hero.
Oh, that's a wonderful
yeah,
way
and it's
to
got our
engage the
mascot
young
on it,
people,
which is the
too.
Bloodhound. So it's a Bloodhound wearing a mask, and it says Half Pint Hero. So
that is a wonderful way to engage the young kids.
absolutely, we've got programming for elementary, middle, and high school.
Yeah, that's great. I think they've thought of everything.
I didn't know.
And if you have any ideas, let us know, because we know we don't know everything, but we try. We try and make sure that we've got something for everybody.
Well, I told you I try to learn something new every day, and I certainly have learned a lot today. I was not aware of that half pint program. I love that. I think that's
absolutely.
Great. I think that would be great for Bible school.
Anything, homeschool families. We can do something. Yeah, we will go wherever there are people willing to give blood.
Well, I think there are lots of untapped areas still, even though I think there's still untapped areas.
Yeah.
So anything, Holly, you would like to say on behalf of your family?
I just want to say thank you to Blood Assurance, because every time I've gave, I've had a really good experience, and I just want to thank you for having that supply for my uncle.
Well, thanks. Your uncle is part of the reason why we had that supply. So we send that thank you right back. So
that circle
it's
goes
really,
around.
For sure. And as much as I enjoy being here, I would love to have our donor care specialists or the people in the lab that are working with the blood be here to hear the thank yous, because, I think it really impacts everyone to meet a family member who's needed blood, or a donor when they get to meet a recipient, and that kind of experience. So.
And just to know how hard you work to make it happen. It is appreciated.
Yeah. So again, the drive is today, noon until 5 at the Catoosa County Fire Department.
Be there.
Text
Be there.
BA Give to 444-999 and we can get you scheduled.
And so just get up. You've already had lunch. If not, eat lunch, because that is an important part of any giving.
Yes, eat and be hydrated.
So you don't pass out.
Right. We'll give you snacks after, but please eat a full meal, rich in iron, before you attempt to give blood, and make sure you are well hydrated.
Drink well. Water or juice or...
No caffeine, no energy drinks, please.
No alcohol, please.
No alcohol for 24 hours after giving either, please.
Drink and go give. Think you can say, oh, I was part of that drive they talked about on TV today.
There you go.
I helped with that. I helped to replenish the 50 units of blood that was used, and that will make you feel good, and then you can put it on your calendar
like
Matthew did for the next 56 days, or if you're going to do another form for a week later, or you can get checked, and you might be competing with Caitlin over here. You might be one of those 4,000 quads. Did you call it a quad? No, what did you call the 4,000?
There's still a triple, but it's 400,000 count.
400,000 super triple. And Rick said, I have to be quiet and wrap it up. So I thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Caitlin and Mindy and Holly and Haley and Angel. I thank you all for being here today and being such a good support for Matthew Mann, who is going to recover and going to be donating again.
And getting married.
And be married.
And getting married and having all kinds of fun and exciting things in his life. And we hope that you don't need blood, but that you will be a donor, a giver, and not a receiver. But if you do need to receive, it will be there for you. So thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day, and we hope you'll be back again next week for What Women and Men Need to Know. Next week, David Glenn will be here. He's going to tell us all about this crazy weather. So we hope you'll be here with us next week.